Hey everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Social Tool Series. I am your host, Amar Sheth at Sales for Life, and I'm very happy to bring to you today Mr. Kyle Porter from salesloft.com. Kyle, how are you?
I'm doing well, Mark. Thanks for having me, man.
Hey, it's great that you're here. I know our audience was really keen on seeing SalesLoft, so before we jump in, Kyle, you're one of the youngest entrepreneurs that I know. So why don't you talk a little bit about your professional journey and also about where you think the world of social selling is today?
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. So I've been a sales guy throughout my entire life, which is why earlier I said I like the name of your company so much. But ever since I was a kid, I was selling stuff, and it was Beanie Babies, baseball cards, Chinese throwing stars. It didn't matter. I just loved to see the look on someone's eyes when we provided them with something that they needed and wanted and were willing to pay for. And so throughout my career, I've been in sales, and when I started using the internet to sell, probably 2005, I learned out about companies like LinkedIn and products that really helped me to learn more about my customers. And ever since then, I've just been in love with finding data and information on the internet that help make sales easier and help make the approach more sincere for the buyer. And so that's really been kind of the genesis of SalesLoft. And then we started watching people back in 2011 and 2012. We watched prospectors and outbound salespeople struggle to build accurate and targeted lists of leads. And so I watched them copying and pasting from the internet, going to company sites to find phone numbers, guessing emails, and SalesLoft built a tool that automates all of that. So we've got a Chrome extension now that will enable any prospector, marketer, outbound salesperson the ability to build targeted and accurate lists of leads. And we've built the company up to 13 employees. We've surpassed the $1 million revenue mark, which is a big feat for a startup software company. Haven't raised any capital, so it's been bootstrapped. And we now have over 270 clients and 13,000 users of our software.
So you took the question right out of my mouth. I was going to ask you 13,000 users, right? Is
That's
that what you
right.
said? And
And we're
then,
adding about 800 new unique companies every single month.
wow. So you're basically experiencing that hockey stick growth curve right now, and it's completely self-launched, bootstrapped, as you've said. So congrats on that. I think it's a wonderful story, and I think for all the salespeople watching this video, a highly inspirational one. Um, and that's why I'm so excited that Kyle's on with us today, because I think once you see Sales Loft and now you know Kyle's background, you're going to be more excited. So, Kyle, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to you, and the beast is all yours now.
Awesome. Well, I'm in my natural environment. I love showing sales off because it's really solving a problem that people struggle with, which is I need to connect with a large number of prospects in a short amount of time, and I don't want to waste my time just poking around on the internet and trying to get these people into my systems and find contact information. So I'm going to jump straight into SalesLoft. This is the application, and the way SalesLoft works is you build lists based on who you want to reach out to. So let's pretend like I'm a sales guy and I'm selling into VPs of sales that happen to work in the Boston area and happen to be in the SaaS industry. And so what we've done here is we've got a list, search results right here. I'm going to go ahead and hit this result, and I'm looking for VPs of sales, Greater Boston area software, and you'll see that these results pop up. So basically, SalesLoft has told Google how to find these people on LinkedIn. Now, with the click of a button, I can add each of these prospects to my list, or I can go down in the bottom right-hand corner and add them all at once. Now I'm going to go and view the results, and you'll see that SalesLoft has pulled in first name, last name, company name, title, size of the company, LinkedIn profiles, all kinds of information, city, industry, and they've sent all that publicly available information that's owned by the user on the web to SalesLoft. And now that SalesLoft knows the name and the company, we can do things like go find out email address or go find phone numbers. And SalesLoft adds this to the record, and then the user can add them to their CRM system as either contact or a lead with just the click of a button. So SalesLoft has built a list and allowed you to connect it to your CRM. You could also do other things like export it to a CSV, or shoot it to a Google spreadsheet like this. And I've taken out phone numbers and emails for purposes of the demo.
Of course.
But
Yeah.
in a nutshell, what Salesloft is doing is it's enabling purpose-built lists for sales teams, prospectors, and marketers. And really the core focus is the sales development effort. So this is kind of a new entry into the world of sales, popularized by Aaron Ross with his book, Predictable Revenue.
Right.
And Salesloft has become and is becoming the application of record for the sales development team. So as I mentioned earlier, we have 270 customers that are using this product today. They're building lists and then reaching out to those people. And we showed you the list of how it was built through the Google results, but it's also available in social networks. So here we are running a search for VPs of sales, and when we get the results back in our social network, we can add these people with the click of a button. See what I'm doing here?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then those people are added to the list that we built earlier.
So Salesloft is just an overlay that sits inside the LinkedIn app. It doesn't intrude or get in the way or anything like that. It just allows you to build very highly targeted, customized lists for your territory or your market segment. Yeah,
exactly. And what it is it actually doesn't even live on this web page at all. This is a Chrome extension overlay. So this is your Chrome browsing experience, and everything that you see over here in the Salesloft box is not part of the website. It's part of the Chrome browser.
Very neat. So I guess the number one question that folks might be wondering is, how does this differ from, say, the LinkedIn tagging and folder system?
Yeah.
Because I know it does, but I want you to talk about it.
Yeah, certainly. So we think LinkedIn is a great tool. In fact, we recommend our customers use their premium products. We think it's the best product that's ever been built for salespeople. But it doesn't let you do some of the things that you absolutely need to do, which is go find corporate email addresses, go find phone numbers, and inject all that data into your application of record or into your marketing system, your CRM system, or even spreadsheets if that's where you're at in terms of your process. And so Salesloft makes that piece easier. So LinkedIn has great features around tagging and notes and those sorts of things, but we take it to the next step and collect all that information for you and then shoot it into your CRM system.
So you've basically got the entire end-to-end workflow built out nicely. Find, organize, and store, essentially.
Yeah. Collect and process, exactly.
Yeah.
Because what's happening is normally you'd have to go to Paydiant.com in this example and go poke around and find their phone number and copy and paste that out and put it in your spreadsheet, right? You had to do this over and over and over again, whereas now it's just collected by a series of robots that are out on the internet doing your work for you.
Yeah, that's
Let me show you.
neat.
I'll show you a few other things that are really slick.
Please.
So now let's say that I'm on someone's specific profile. Salesloft will do cool things like look for that person in your Salesforce and see if they already exist, or allow you to add them at once. Or let's say that I'm on someone's LinkedIn group. Right, here's a LinkedIn group, marketing automation experts. I can go to this group, and Salesloft lets you search for the people in that group. So with a click of a button, I can now find the people that are associated with that group and add them to my list one by one as well.
Wow.
So it allows you to do all kinds of other things. But at the end of the day, it's the simplest way on the internet to build these lists that you care about.
That's really neat. And Kyle, I'm not sure if you have this, or I'm not sure if you're prepared to share, but do you have any examples of success stories of clients actually seeing, great results from using Salesloft?
Yeah, absolutely. I've saved a document that I can share. One of our customers is a company called Tenderbox, and Tenderbox has been using Salesloft now for about 6 months, and they're using it in comparison to some legacy data tools like Jigsaw, Hoovers, those sorts of tools. And by using Salesloft, they created a comparison to Jigsaw and actually delivered that to us. Here it is. So this is a scenario where they pulled 2,600 leads from both systems. And there you see the number of bad records, or the percentage of bad records, and then the conversions for sales opportunities for them. And look at how much bigger the Salesloft data is.
It's nearly three times as successful.
Exactly. So it's also less money. So they're pretty happy with their investment. And this is a great example that we didn't even ask for. They just emailed this to us and said, hey, we keep telling people that SalesLoft's been one of the best investments we've made. Here are the results. And that was just real exciting to see and awesome.
You must be super proud of this. So, Kyle, how can salespeople sign up for SalesLoft? And I don't want this to be a marketing piece. That's not what the intention is. But um, talk to me about that.
Yeah, sure. So for everyone watching this, first of all, we're going to give you a free version of the product to play around with as a test. And then we'll also add some extra credits. So SalesLoft operates by giving credits and using those credits when you find email addresses. So if you write back and say, hey, I saw this video and we'd like some extra credits, we'll grant that for you. But yeah, just go to salesloft.com and sign up for the product. And it's a pretty short and easy way to get started. And it literally takes a few clicks and you'll be running in less than 30 seconds.
That's awesome.
Let me show you one more thing, Amar.
Please, yeah, I'd love to.
So oftentimes companies come to us and they say, hey, this is great. I'm looking for prospects, but I need to find prospects at specific companies. So I don't just need to find the VPs of sales in the Boston area. I want to find the ones that are at these 6 companies, for example. And the way this works is a user can come in and just drop a list of company names, and then they'll find here are all those results. And then they can go in and say, well, I want to select all those companies and find the VP of marketing, and then hit submit. And look what happens. SalesLoft actually helps you run a search for just those companies with just those titles, and now I can add all those members to my list. So start with a list of companies and end up with a list of prospects with the right title.
So basically, if I'm a rep that's managing 50 named accounts or 100 named accounts, I could use this in a lethal way to start making sure that I'm always connecting with the right folks that are coming in or out of my accounts, right?
Yeah, exactly. And if you don't have the list of accounts, just go into the company search, pick your filters. I'll go United States. I can pick industry, computer software. And then now I'll look on the right and I can add these companies to my list.
Wow.
So you see what we did there?
Absolutely.
So we're going in and we're saying, hey, we want to build the list, and now we've added those companies.
So even if you don't know your named, or if you don't know your target company, you can use the LinkedIn search feature for all intents and purposes. And then basically SalesLoft will take that data. We can convert that and drop those files into SalesLoft, and then start looking inside for the right contacts, get their phones, get their emails, drag and drop those records, slide them over into our CRM like, Salesforce.com. So end to end, right?
Absolutely.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Any other neat tricks to show today, Kyle?
There's a lot of stuff. We'd urge you to, if you're checking this out for the first time, we'd love to set up some time with you to understand your business, understand your objectives, share best practices, and talk strategy about how to help you crush it this quarter and into the future. So we'd love to have a follow-up conversation, but I think that's a great overview from a top level.
Well, I appreciate your time, Kyle. Any parting words for the audience? I guess one question I wanted to ask you, okay, is
shoot, yeah.
Social selling is just starting to make headlines, right? In 2014,
absolutely.
Compared to where we were in 2012 and 2013. You and I both know that it was just that infant stage, and not many people were talking about it. Where is social selling going, and can you provide any words of wisdom and motivation to salespeople that are wondering if they should be selling socially?
Yeah. So I think the wonder stage is gone. Social is really not social, it's just life. Period. Right? People are on the internet, and there's just so much information. There's so many things that people are doing on the internet. And if social selling means finding and connecting with those people on the web, then to me that's just good selling, and that's just life. And so I think that we're in a stage now where it's no longer about is it just social selling. It's about really truly getting on the internet, connecting with the people that matter to you, helping them, serving them, following them, understanding the things that they're doing, and then reaching out when the timing is right, when the solution matters, when you're not going to be bothering them because you're going to be providing value and doing it through the web. I think social selling is it's just the future of selling in general.
Awesome. That was a wonderful, wonderful message. Kyle, thanks once again for being with us. For the folks watching this, I urge you to try Salesloft. Yes, I do have a hidden agenda. That's why Kyle is on the show. And I think this is one of the best tools out there. So if you haven't given it a look, please do so. I think it's going to be well worth your while. Kyle, thanks again for being with us. And we'll catch you maybe 6 months or 9 months from now. If there's any updates or feature upgrades to Salesloft, we'd love to discuss them at that point. So thanks again.
Cool. There absolutely will. Thanks, everybody.